Hi, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I wanted to come on today and I wanted to talk about something that, we always hear. We've always heard it. People always say it and people always want to be it. So the topic is, it costs to be the boss. And, we all know what that means, but this particular word, God gave me, this is in reference to the building that we are going to have in our season to come. So we know that, we're in a season right now that God is taking us from something old and He's bringing us into something new. Meaning, our old ways of thinking, talking, acting, communicating, connections, beliefs, the way we walk, talk, act, all those things. He's stripping us of those things and He's bringing us into something new, unfamiliar, and He's putting in us a new spirit and a new heart. So we know that all things that are old are not going with the new. So everything that is new will be new, it will be refreshed, and it will be something that we will have to continuously to learn, to build, on a correct foundation with God. So here are some tools and some questions that we will continuously to keep asking ourselves to help us to, kind of stay on track, because we know when life is happening, we forget a lot of things and we're just trying to go, we're trying to get it built, we're trying to just hurry up and get it done. We're just doing so much, and sometimes, just be honest, we don't have time to keep trying to sit and look at every little detail that is going on. So here are some quick questions that we can kind of ask ourselves, just to keep in mind, when things are happening and we are going forward, when we are building, I want to say, our empire. And that can be in reference to you of, your business, your family, your relationships, whatever it is for you, whatever your empire is, or kingdom, whatever you want to call it. So some questions to ask, first, is God present in the plan? So is God present into the business plan or the kingdom building or your empire that you are trying to build? Is God directing you? Is He guiding your path? Or is it something that you were doing off of your own desire? So getting confirmation first of, is this what God wants me to do? Or is it something that I am doing upon myself? Because we know that, when God wants us to do something, first He will tell us, second He will confirm it, and third He will line it up. The second question is, what is it costing you? Is it costing you your peace, your joy, your sanity, your happiness, your family, too much money, more than what you're able to budget on? We know that the blessings of the Lord make us rich and they add no sorrow. And we know that, the Lord will not put more on us than we can handle. So take that into consideration. The second question is, what is the foundation or root, meaning the soil you are building on? So you have to ask yourself, what is the foundation of what you're building on? Meaning, if God has already told you to wait, say for a certain building or a certain place that you want, and God has already told you, you're going to wait at least a couple months, or, this one's not it. And then someone else comes and offers you, something that you have been waiting for, but it's not in alignment with when the timing of God. We have to be cautious and understand and be, use wisdom. Just because it looks right and it's something that we want, we have to understand that then takes us out of the will of God, because then that becomes, man's foundation. If God's already told you to wait and you're supposed to be waiting, but someone else comes with something that you want and it looks right, the paperwork looks right, everything sounds legit, but God has told you to wait, that means you are now stepping out of the will of God, and now you are operating, off of what man can give you. So we know that, anything that is rooted in man cannot withstand the trials and the tribulations that will come with it. Yes, we will be able to build and build and build, but it will not be able to withstand. But anything that is rooted in God will be able to withstand through anything, any trial, any tribulation, anything that comes. Next question is, who are you connecting with? So we have to ask ourselves this, continuously. When we are connecting with folks, we have to do our little homework on the people that, are coming into our lives, because sometimes we know that some people come as opportunists. There we go. And we know that some people are sent by the enemy, to kill, steal, and destroy. Some people get close to you, like like the story of Samson and Delilah. She got so close to him, she wanted to know his secret so she can make him fall. So we have to do our research, and we have to pray, and we have to fast on our connections that are coming or being presented to us, so that we are connecting to the appropriate people, and in the right timing. Next one is do you have security or a security system? Meaning, what are your boundaries? Do you have boundaries set in place with your family, your business, your co-workers, your spouse, with other members, whatever it is that you're doing? Do you have boundaries set of, things that you are going to do, things you're not going to do, things you will allow, things you won't allow, and things that, what proper channels it needs to be done when situations occur, so that, first yourself, you are safe, your family's safe, your business is safe, or your partners are safe, whatever it is. Just remember boundaries. Boundaries are going to be very crucial, and they're going to be very important, because when building something over again, boundaries are going to be so important, because we don't want people out of their alignment and where they need to be and where they are supposed to be, because then that's when confusion and chaos will kick off. And we know that God is not the author of confusion. So keeping people in their proper alignments will be crucial. Next questions are, what are you giving an okay to? So we know when building anything, the bricks, the wood is laid one by one by one. So we have to think in our minds, things that are being presented to us, what are we saying okay to? Because whatever we say okay to, that's part of the foundation of what's going to be allowed in, your kingdom or your empire. So with that being said, stay aware, stay, prayed up, continuously to keep praying, and, even writing down some notes on some things that you want to remember, about people, persons, places, things, some things that you've seen that, you want to ask God about, some things you want to add, some things you want to subtract, just keep being in a place of, of prayer, not operating off of and looking at, what man can give you and how fast you can go to the top. Because, we've seen a lot of things where people have built things in kingdoms, we would say, that look very nice, but when a storm came, they fail. They'll fall. So people think, we think that just because we see something and it looks so nice and it looks so well put together and, whatever else we may think about it. But But that's not always the case. The way it looks, that doesn't mean it is as put together as it looked or as it seems. Versus we can see something that's really small and then we feel like that's not put together good or as good as the one that looks better. But we know that the one that could be put together smallly, the ones that have been waiting on God and trusting in God, their roots go deeper than the one that's been planted off of man, and the soil is not rooted in anything strong and infirm. So with that being said, keep going forth, keeping your head straight, keeping your eyes on God, seeking God and his righteousness, and we know that everything will be added on to us. So seek God for everything that you want, you desire, and just everything in life. So in reference to all this, with building on a solid foundation, if you want to, you can look up, Matthew's chapter 7, verses 24 through 27. And that will give you an idea of building on solid ground. So I love you guys. Take care. Stay blessed.